Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. Today is day 7, the final day of our Hurricane Preparedness Week series. Today is a review of all 6 days prior to, and as kind of a reinforcing reminder. And then after we are done with the kind of the recap of Hurricane Preparedness Week, I've got a few slides here set up as far as what we may see going forward over the next couple weeks, and then some seasonal forecast numbers and a very welcomed and exciting announcement, and I've got that at the end. So if you guys want to know the exciting announcement, or if you've seen it on the page, then you know. But if you haven't, we've got some stuff here at the end. So, taking a quick look at the overall basin here, we noticed that the Saharan dust is really starting to stretch across the main development region of the tropical Atlantic. We've got a boundary line right here with a good amount of shear associated with it. And then we also have our dynamic little cold core low pressure that I've seen some people trying to call this some kind of like tropical thing or whatever. No, it's not. It never really had a chance of being tropical in any way, shape, or form. Yes, there is a surface low pressure associated with this, but the surface low pressure is well on land and still attached to a boundary. So that's definitely not going to make it tropical in nature, although it is a very dynamic storm that has caused some significant damage here in the Florida Panhandle and potentially into parts of Alabama and also Georgia. There was a very powerful storm complex this morning that spawned multiple tornado warnings and ripped through our region throughout the afternoon. So let's get over real quick to Kylie's PowerPoint presentation for day 7. Take action today. That is the theme for today, and it is a review of all of the previous days. You want to take action. You start your preparations now. It's never too early for hurricane season. Know your risks, water and wind. Ensure that you know your flood zone and evacuation zone. Identify structural risks within your home. Determine what threats you are most vulnerable to. For example, coastal homes are at greater risk for storm surge. Areas in and around, say if you're inland and you're surrounded by a bunch of trees, you're also potentially there at risk as well. If you live in a low-lying area that has, maybe a creek that doesn't normally, flood or anything like that, you're potentially at risk. Please know your risks prior to the season so you know what to prepare for. Begin preparing now. Build an evacuation plan and share it with at least one person outside of the disaster zone. Assemble a disaster kit with all needed supplies. Plan for several days and account for all pets or specific needs your family may have. Make an effort to strengthen and identify structural risks in your home, or strengthen any identified structural risks in your home. Now's the time. Before a storm comes, before all of these things are out of the stores. You don't want to be one of them people looking for those last minute supplies. Understanding forecasts. Rely on trusted sources for forecast information. These sources can include the National Hurricane Center and their certified media partners, as well as reliable individuals who convey the National Hurricane Center information. Understand what each alert you may receive means. Focus on potential impacts to a specific area rather than just on the category or size of the storm. So there's a lot more to a storm than just what category is it. How fast is it moving? Is it moving slow? Is it moving quickly? Is there a potential tornado threat with this? Is there an inland flooding threat with this? I mean, there's a lot of things that go into the forecast. So please make sure you're using the National Weather Service Office and the National Hurricane Center for the most reliable information available to you. Before the storm. When a storm threatens, enact your plan immediately. Protect your home by securing loose items, sealing doors, covering windows, unplugging electrical equipment, turning off utilities, and doing anything else you need to keep your home secure. Determine sheltering options if necessary, using the FEMA mobile app or another similar service. Ready your go bag and other necessary supplies. Charge your phone, and fill up or charge your vehicle. If evacuating, prepare for 3 or more days away supplies for you, your family, and your pets. Also, if you are evacuating, please make sure, especially if you are on city water or gas or anything like that, please shut off the main valves before you evacuate. If something occurs and the pipes in your home are compromised, your sink faucets are no longer stopping the water from flowing out. So you already have some damage. Now you're contributing to further flooding and further damage. On top of that, if a lot of people have the same type of issue, there is no water pressure to get the water restored. So by shutting off at the main valve, that will be so much helpful to the restoration process. You'll get your water back on a lot quicker, I promise. During the storm, stay in your safe place, away from windows or potentially risky structures. Whenever possible, keep as many walls between you and the outside. Ensure that you have a way to get alerts, such as a NOAA weather radio or other similar devices. Stay vigilant to any potential threat, no matter where you are, as impacts can be felt even far inland. Stay aware of and follow any and all instructions from your local officials. If you are located in a mandatory evacuated area, you need to leave. Period. It's that simple. They're not issuing these orders for no reason. There is credible data and reasoning behind what they do. So please follow the advice from your local officials. After the storm, follow instructions from local officials, including in regards to returning home after an evacuation. Be wary of structural damage. Thoroughly and carefully check in and around your home for potential hazards after the storm. Do not attempt to handle any power lines for any reason. Do not drive, walk, or swim through floodwaters. Stay hydrated and take breaks while cleaning up. Practice generator safety by keeping your generator outside and away from your home. Please check on your neighbors, especially particularly vulnerable ones. If you know of the little old lady or the little old man that lives down the street, go make sure that they're okay. And that concludes Kylie's presentations for Hurricane Preparedness Week 2025. Thank you very much, Kylie. We greatly appreciate your artwork and assistance there. I really do. So now getting back here over to the browser by taking a look at the basin. Again, if we go to the National Hurricane Center's main page, Hurricane Preparedness Week right here. If you click on Hurricane Preparedness Week, it will bring you to this page. If you scroll down to take action today, that is today, May 10th, day 7, that will take you to this particular screen. Now, if you notice, this screen is very small today. And the reason is it's the review for days 1 through 6. Determine your risk from water and wind. Begin preparing now before a storm. Learn how to understand hurricane forecasts and alerts, and learn what to do before, during, and after a storm. All of these links are located right here in this one small paragraph below the graphic. And as you could see, this was day 1, know your risk, water and wind. This was day 2, prepare before hurricane season. Day 3, understand your forecast information. Day 4, get moving when a storm threatens. Day 5, stay protected during storms. And day 6, using caution after storms. So please, folks, go to the National Hurricane Center, click on the Hurricane Preparedness Week link, come here, and there is a great amount of knowledge there is a great amount of knowledge that is contained within these links. These links have links of their own and will allow you to better understand the risks that you may potentially face. You may not know that you might live in a flood zone. It would be nice to know these things. And all of these types of available resources are here in the National Hurricane Center's Hurricane Preparedness Week series. So, that being said, I now want to shift forward to taking a look at the overall basin. So, what we're looking at here are the sea surface temperatures in Celsius across the Atlantic region. Anything in yellow or higher would denote the potential or the opportunity, getting close there to tropical cyclone development potentials and being able to support a tropical cyclone. So as you could see, not a lot of the tropical Atlantic is necessarily warm enough yet, and we're down below 10 degrees north is where we do have the water temperatures to support a tropical cyclone. It is very rare to see a tropical cyclone down that far. It doesn't really have a lot of Coriolis force added to it, so it's kind of rare. So we're certainly not expecting anything, but I just wanted to make everybody aware that around 10 degrees north. And then when we get over here into the western portions of the Atlantic Basin, starting to approach the islands and getting out through the Caribbean, as you can see, we've got our water temperatures at about 45 degree west and westward. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. The waters will continue to warm as we are continuing to approach summer. The water temperatures are not the only factor. Another factor is our atmosphere. Right now, as we can see with our NASA dust model, we've got a great amount of dust sitting over the tropical Atlantic. This would certainly impede any type of tropical cyclone development that we may see 10 degrees or southward. As you can see, our 10-degree line happens to sit right here. I will draw that on the screen for everybody to see. This is about 10 degrees north. So give or take angle there. And if we kind of show this, as you can see, there is a great amount of dust throughout the entirety of the tropical Atlantic. So this is why we don't really expect tropical cyclone development out in this portion of the basin throughout the beginning part of the season. Where we really watch is back over here in the Gulf of Mexico and, well, really the southern Gulf of Mexico and getting into parts of the western and central Caribbean. Well, if we take a look, I've got the European model and the ensembles up over the next 10 days. As you could see, there is nothing out there. Yes, you do see a little bit of lines here associated with the surface low pressure that is currently impacting the southeastern United States, but this is a non-tropical feature. The one thing that we do see is a couple little ensembles down here into the Eastern Pacific where we may get a tropical outlook issued right now. The percentages are not very high. You have to look at this in the eyes of probability. There are 50 ensemble members to the European model, and we don't see anywhere near 50 lines. So not all of the models within the Euro's ensemble are calling for even low pressure development. So it's a very low chance, but there could be something that occurs out there over, as we get into, as you can see with day 7, that's where we're really going to have to kind of watch it. Is in about a week to see if that energy transfers over here into the portion of the Eastern Pacific Basin. And even if I push this out any further, the model itself is unreliable as we go. There's no real skill to it other than maybe some large scale features. But as far as the mesoscale, level and trying to determine whether a tropical cyclone would develop or not is outside of the 10-day range is unachievable. Even if I put it at 15, again, there's nothing out there. Yes, there's one line. There's always one line, folks. Don't ever focus on one line. That honestly, that denotes 2%. 2. And I don't know very many people that would go and put a whole bunch of money on 2%. So we're going to compare the Euro with the GEFS. This is the American ensembles. And if we take a look here, yes, we have our little low pressure, our surface low. This is not necessarily, these graphics aren't just tropical lows, as noted by all of the lines up here into portions of Canada and the North Atlantic. What we look for is down here in any type of potential organization. Now, over the next 240 hours or 10 days, we could see that there could be a little bit more of a signal out here into the Eastern Pacific. There are 31 members associated with the GEFS, so you kind of give their probabilities approximately 3% apiece. So right now, again, we don't really see much. And I'm not going to push the GEFS out 15 days because by that time we're getting into some of the physics and the biases potential, and no, we're not even going to bother to entertain ghost storms around here. So another thing that I would like to point out to everybody here is the Barcelona Supercomputing Center website, where all of, well, I can't say all, but a lot of prestigious universities, governments, and weather entities, private entities, give their forecasts for the upcoming hurricane season. We like to use this as the average of all of these, putting them together to kind of formulate the basis. You never use just one model in the tropics, so why would you just use one hurricane forecast? That kind of goes against the narrative of gathering as much information as possible and making sure that you can get a well-determined average with all of them. Well, as we could see here right now on May 10th, the most recent average for named storms throughout the Atlantic Basin is 17. That is what everybody all together. Now, as we could see, some entities have higher, some entities have lower. But right now, we are looking at approximately 17. Some entities don't even give a range. They just give a solid number. So, and it's all somewhere 16, 17, 18, 14. It's all kind of in that range. And then we even have some that are high, 15 to 27. I mean, let's be realistic. You can't really go wrong if you take all the numbers. So, shout out down there. And if we take a look at the hurricanes, that's 17 named storms. So now we take a look at the hurricanes, and the hurricanes average of 8. So we're looking at 17 named storms, 8 hurricanes. That is almost 50% of the named storms are expected to become hurricanes. That tracks. That's usually about average. If we take a look at the major hurricanes, this is going to come in at a 4. So at this point, we're 17, 8, and 4. We're looking at approximately 25% of this year's named storms as far as the seasonal prediction is concerned here, the average. 25% of our named storms could potentially develop into major hurricanes. And as you can see, a lot of the entities, we've got 3 4s and 2 3s. For the folks that have been following us for a long time, Dr. Trushula's got us at 4 with Weather Tiger. So there's a lot of information that is out there and readily available for everybody. Going into the accumulated cyclone energy, this is the amount of energy that is anticipated across the basin. Right now, we're looking at an average of 152 units of ACE. That would put it into an above average season. I can tell you that Dr. Trushula, when I took a look at the model, I think it was yesterday, his ACE model, it is currently running at 147 units. So we're right in that range. Everybody's kind of running in that range, and Dr. Trushula has his prediction running at 145 with a range of 110 to 170. So as we could see, everything and more will continue to come out. More updates will continue to be released. I know NOAA, we haven't gotten a solid date on it yet, but I do know that should be coming out. Well, it'll definitely be coming out probably in about 2 weeks, give or take maybe 2.5. But they'll definitely get that information out before the start of hurricane season on June 1st. The first issuance of tropical outlooks will begin on May 15th. Now, Colorado State University, they also issue their seasonal forecasts, and the next update is going to be on June 11th. And then we have another one on July 9th, one on August 6th, and then the verification on November 20th. Hopefully we're done by then. When we get into August, they are going to start 2-week forecast of North Atlantic tropical cyclone activity, starting on August 6th, and then every 2 weeks after that. So we'll kind of use that in correlation with the Global Tropics Hazards Outlook that is issued every Tuesday. Also, we have an announcement to make. It is our honor, privilege, and excitement to now be partnered with Team Dominator Storm Recovery. We have been working behind the scenes and having a lot of conversations with folks, and we are now happy to announce that the Tropical Weather Threat Society and Team Dominator Storm Recovery are officially partners. That also includes our other partners with Lifeline and Tennessee Appalachian Twister Trackers. Dave, I had a long talk with Dave yesterday. Had a great conversation with him, and I've been in a couple meetings with him now. Give these guys a follow, if you would please. They don't have a lot. So if you would come and give them a follow, they would greatly appreciate that. They also try to provide as much information as possible, and also a part of our collaboration. So please, folks, a lot of things are ongoing. A lot of things are starting to move up and up. So stay tuned. Right now, we don't have another live scheduled for a little while. Our live schedule is as follows. when we start to get our tropical weather outlooks starting to be issued on May 15th. If there is any named system in throughout anywhere in the Atlantic Basin, we are guaranteed to be live at least once a day. We will go live more than once a day as a potential threat increases. On top of that, if there is anything in the tropical weather outlook that has a medium chance of development or 40% or higher, the moment it goes orange on the screen, we will be live at least. Now, if it goes orange at like 8 p.m. Eastern time, we're not going to be live that day. We'll be live the following day. But otherwise than that, if it turns 40% before our 6 p.m. scheduled time block, then yes, we will be live that evening. Now, if there is, like I said, if there is a threat, the bigger the threat, or the more lives that we will do. And real quick before I sign off here tonight, I do want to show our surface analysis from the National Hurricane Center. This is our our intertropical convergence zone and portion of monsoon trough up here. We do not see a single tropical wave. We have not had a tropical wave come off yet. So here we are May 10th, and we haven't seen one yet. Now, as you can see, once we get out here, the monsoon trough in the intertropical convergence zone is a little bit higher at that point. So we'll have to wait and see if something can get going, though it is still in and around the 10-degree north area here in the Eastern Pacific. So it'll be something that we'll be keeping an eye on. But right now, we don't have anything in the future. So stay tuned with us. If we've got anything, we'll definitely be out there with it, maybe with a recorded video or something like that prior to potentially needing a live. So with that, I would like to thank everybody for tuning in, and we appreciate it. Please give everybody a follow and a like, if you would please, our partners. We will get a post up here soon regarding everybody, so you may just kind of go over there, give them a follow, and yet that'll have you kind of up to date on everything that's going on with the Tropical Weather Threat Society. It's been kind of chaos right now, but we're making do. So with that, everybody, we will talk to you here in the future. It's not going to be tomorrow, but we will be live again here as soon as another threat starts to, as soon as our first potential development and threat kind of wants to show itself. So have a wonderful evening and weekend, folks. Make sure that you are preparing for this upcoming season. The season starts on June the 1st. Tropical weather outlooks start issuing on May the 15th. So with that, have a wonderful time. We will talk to you soon, but hopefully not too overly soon. If we have nothing by hurricane season, we will be live for June the 1st regardless. So have a wonderful time, everybody. Stay weather aware, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.